My master, now that the mother boxes have been destroyed, how will you retrieve your great prize?
Anti-life is found, Assad, and we will stop at nothing to possess it. Ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
Hey guys, it's FullyArticulated here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlaneToys DCMultiverse Target exclusive gold label Darkseid Megafig. I believe it's a Megafig. This is, of course, based off of how Darkseid appeared in the ScottSnider director's cut of the Justice League live-action movie. Dang, that's a mouthful, but here we are, and there he is. Now, special shout out to the local buddy who shall not be named for privacy reasons for picking me up this figure the other day. Without him, I probably wouldn't have it. Now, at this moment in time, I do not have the Steppenwolf to compare him to, but I do have the Merciless, the first collect-to-build figure that McFarlane has ever done for the DC Multiverse line, that is. He did do a Spawn Build-A-Figure way back in the day, but we don't talk about that one. Kind of broke. And then we also have the Batman Who Laughs, because I don't have really any of the live-action Justice League figures, save for Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman 84, but I can't get to her right now. So I'm going to have to work with what we have. That said, I've said exclusive way more times than I'm proud of this past year. What is up with all the exclusives? It seems like every other release now is some kind of hard-to-find exclusive with a heavily involved chase. I don't know. It seems kind of pointless to me. Just make the stuff available and you will sell more. I don't know. But luckily with the McFarlane exclusives, I have managed to get them relatively easily. So there is that, I guess. But as far as this guy's accessories go, he comes with the same size stand as all the other figures, which is pretty hilarious. Because he's a biggin, and this is big enough for maybe one of his feet to fully cover. So there's that. He also comes with standard collectible trading card. Never going to get tired of that. It says Darkseid on the back. There's a bio for Darkseid. Those of you who don't know who Darkseid is, he is the evil Lord of Apocalypse who can pretty much kick the Justice League's butt in a millisecond. Because he's Darkseid. Basically an alien god from another planet. So, pretty bad dude. Other than that, he comes with this... Woo, sorry, booped the camera there. This guy is so big, it's hard to fit him all in frame. He comes with this crazy kind of tuning fork weapon, which, what is with all the tuning fork weapons in my movie villains lately? I don't get it. This thing can be easier said than done to actually get out of his hand, because his hand is not really soft, and the weapon kind of is. There you go. Big, long, crazy trident thing. Well, it's got 4 prongs on the end. Some kind of crazy spear axe thing with a blade on the end of it for good measure. He holds it well, though. Let me adjust the camera. I think we got knocked out of bounds here. Huh, not too bad. But here is Darkseid in his glory. He's biggin'. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to fit him on screen, but we're going to try. So articulation on this guy, he can look up quite a bit. He can look down just as good, which is important for a big guy. He can tilt his head side to side. He can rotate. And I will say his head is very squishy. Squishy, squishy, squishy. Sorry about that. I decided to cut it because, well, that just took way too friggin' long. Either way, his head is very silicone-y. Kind of interesting. But his shoulders do go out to the side, go back down. You can rotate them all the way around. Kind of loose, but not in a bad way. They're pretty butter smooth. You can rock them forward and back, up and down a little bit. Bring his arm even further down if you want. He's got a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow on this guy. Gives you a pretty good range. He's got hinge and swivel at the wrist. But I will say, I don't think this is going to be a problem on all of them. But this wrist on mine, my dad actually had to cut away some excess plastic and kind of separate it a bit so it could actually hinge, because this hand was frozen when I opened this guy up. So be careful with that. You don't want to break your Darkseid, especially this one, because he's kind of hard to find. He's got the tilt in the torso here. It feels like he just has articulation in the waist. Doesn't really feel like he's got it anywhere else. It's a little floppy, but not too bad. You can adjust it so it stays in place. I will say, one thing to note, he's got this butt flap going on, which I don't mind, but I do wish it was connected a little better. This little tab back here is kind of small, and I think they could have maybe spread this out to like here and here so it had a little bit more holding it on, because the fact that it can go all the way back but this front piece can't is very strange to me. Almost like how in the torso articulation they can crunch further back than they can forward, although on this guy it's about even both ways. Forgot to mention you could tilt that as well. Hips, kick forward and back, they go in and out. Thigh cut, single joint at the knee. Would have liked the double knee, but whatever. He does have a swivel at the lower knee, which I don't really think is necessary because he has that swivel down in the feet. But it's there. And another thing to note, the feet were pretty stuck too. The ankle rockers, I had to pop the feet off and get those to work. Detached from the figure, because this up and down hinge is a little bit looser than the rocker, so it would not stay in place. And then he also has a hinge in the toe and peg holes at the bottom of the feet for the display stand. He really doesn't need, but if you wanted to use it, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Also, another thing to note, these boot pieces are separate and you can actually move them around. And to save a little bit of time, I'm not going to put that staff back in his hand until we cut for the comparisons. But yeah, a really cool looking figure. I gotta say, I prefer this to the other release, which was a kind of shirtless look. I don't know if they are the same mold or if this one's got some added pieces or not. I almost think this one just is painted with this armor on it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it could be the same figure, just with some different paint, which would make sense. I would think Darkseid's skin would have some texture to it, even if it didn't have this kind of padded armor on his torso there. I believe he had the skirt pieces, though. So that is that. So with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here's our Darkseid Megafig. I believe that's what it's called anyways. Next to a couple other McFarlaneToys DC Multiverse figures, we have the Batman Who Laughs. The first McFarlaneToys DC Multiverse figure I ever bought, actually, for a kind of standard comparison. He's a little bit on the tall side, maybe? I don't know. He seemed short when he came out, but maybe they've tweaked size since then. Either way, he's about a standard height for this line. You can see Darkseid just towers over him. And even the Merciless Collectible figure, which I will say, I'm curious if they are going to re-release that Merciless figure as a Megafig, because to my understanding they're going to do that with the Bane from the Last Night on Earth wave. And as far as I know, not a lot of people missed out on that, or maybe people just didn't want to buy the whole wave, they just wanted Bane. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they re-release the Merciless as a single-carded figure, because I know a lot more people who need that than Bane. But we can only hope at this point, right? Lastly, here he is next to our two regulars. We've got the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. One of very few occasions where Spawn does not tower over the figure I'm reviewing. That said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do really like this figure, I did have a couple of QC issues with mine regarding one of the hands and the ankle rockers. That, and I didn't mention this at the beginning of the review, but he is a little bit on the light side, but I can only assume that's due to weight distribution. You don't want him taking any shelf dives, and since he has a little bit of looseness in the forward to back on the ankles, that is probably for the best, so I'm going to let that one slide. However, I've seemed to have quite a few QC issues on my McFarlane figures lately. Not sure what's going on with that, but maybe it's just Overlord's dumb luck striking again. That said, again, I really like this guy. I prefer this version to the unarmored version. I think without the armor he looks a little weird. It is different. It is still cool, but I think this is the better of the two versions. But unfortunately, it is a Target exclusive, so you are at the mercy of A, your Target getting them, and B, the local scalper going in and buying them all up. That said, I think it's worth the effort. This is the better version in my opinion, and I highly recommend you pick it up if you can. It's $40, I believe, which is about $10 cheaper than that awesome Violator my buddy T-Biz just got. Shout out to T-Biz. Put that review up yesterday, so please check that out. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Gotta show that algorithm who's boss, right? Also, if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know letting me know what you think of this figure. Whether you like it, want it, or hate it. But, as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. Especially when every other thing to come out this past year has been an exclusive. Seriously, what's up with that? And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.